I had a butcher
Okay.
so my hand doesn't work.
Now it's running now,
It works, but not good.
and that stopped. Now you can take pictures like that while it's running. Just leave it run the whole time.
Now let me kind of explain what's going to happen. Everybody knows Danny is a little different, so we're going to do a little different. All right? We're not having a traditional minister come in and sing. What we're going to do is we're going to have a celebration of life. Celebration of life is an upbeat situation. And John Stephenson is going to sing a song here in a minute. And when he's done, I'll give everybody a chance to think about this. We're going to call on anybody that would like to come up and tell a story about Danny. And if I don't hear funny stories, we're going to lock the doors. You're going to stay here, and I'll turn the air conditioner off. Because that's the only way he'd want it. I've known Danny for 40-something years myself. So, and when we get ready to go to the cemetery after a while I'm up here, make sure you turn your headlights and four-way flashers on. And I'm not too sure, but I'm afraid we may have to get on Interstate 75 to get to St. Mary's, because the bridge up here, they're working on it. Dixie's closed northbound. John's going to sing one song. I'm going to let everybody take turns coming up, and when we're done with that, he's going to sing one more song here. At the cemetery, I'll do the 23rd Psalm, the Lord's Prayer, and John will sing another song. Okay? John, you're ready.
I'd have to say, Daryl and Todd and everybody from the barber shop. Harry, if he's still here.
He's here.
Is he here? Harry. Over 20 years, you've been whacking on Danny. And we've sang a lot of songs in the barber shop. And this one here was sort of the one that everybody seemed to love. And I've had the good fortune of singing it in every county in the state of Kentucky. It was written by Merle Travis, sang by Tennessee Ernie Ford. And believe it or not, I've sang it ever since grade school, and all the way through high school, and all the way through college, and all the way through being superintendent of education for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I've
John,
sang it.
Dan says, hurry up.
Danny's still alive.
You gotta go to lunch.
Okay. And it goes like this. Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. The muscle and blood and skin and bones. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons. What did you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go out my soul to the company store. I was born when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons of number 9 coal, and the straw boss said, well, bless my soul, you loaded 16 tons, and what did you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go out my soul to the company store. I was born, it was drizzle and rain. Fighting and trouble was my middle name. I was raised in a canebrake by old mama line. There ain't no honky-tonk woman make me walk the line, except Miss June, except Miss June. I had to throw that in there, bro. I tell you what, this is the part that gets you now. I used to tell my students this. I jumped up on the top of the desk, right over here during Moloy. I'd look him in the eye and I'd say, if you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't and a lot of men died. One fist of iron, the other of steel. If the right one don't get you, then the left one will. You load 16 tons, what did you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. And I'll tell you something, Danny loved the Lord. I sat next to him and we both talked. You know, men do talk. And he said he loved me and I said I love him, and we prayed for each other, and God has blessed us. He went home to heaven. Amen. I'll be back a little later. For Danny boy.
Now, I think John's got some fired up. So who's going to be first up here to tell us a good story? Come on, somebody. You guys hung around that barber shop for all these years. About time.
Danny was at the barber shop for how many years, Harry? 22 years, something like that?
I think 22.
Every day. So if he came at 9:20, 9:21, 9:22, he started calling him. Danny, you're late. Don't call me. I said, we're worried about you. Nobody worried about me. I live for myself and I answer to no one. That was his motto. I live for myself, I answer to no one. He answered to me though a lot. So we argued every day. I guess we put a show on every day. So I got a good story on Danny. I got his car, says, I'm gonna drive you to the restaurant, but don't touch my dials, don't touch my dashboard. I said, okay. So I drive all down like this. When we drive you back up the shop, yeah. So I get in the car, and he hits the brakes, my head headed off the windshield. He goes another 50 feet, does it again, and the head hits off the windshield, and he goes, I told you not to mess with my stuff. So the last day he was in the barber shop. He had a big crowd in there, and Danny says, Dan, I saw your car come through the parking lot. I saw 2 hands and a hat. That's all I saw. I said, you're driving like that. I said, Danny. He goes, these new cars are made somebody 5 to 11, 6 foot. I'm 5'8", 5'9". I said, I can fix this for you. So I gave him a booster chair out of the barber shop. So he left the shop. I said, Danny, don't be so angry. Give me a hug. I gave him a hug. Get off me. That's what this. I got so many stories to tell you. I don't have enough time. Todd, you come up.
Come on up, Todd.
Come up and say some stuff. Harry.
You should.
Harry.
Come on up here.
John Redmond, come up and say something about that. I could write a book on it.
What about Daryl? What about the picture of him you take
Well, anybody sees
everywhere?
Facebook, I had a picture of Danny on the stick. Anybody see that on Facebook?
Danny on his
I carried him all over the world. I said, Danny, I just came back from London. You owe me $50 for the plane trip or whatever. All right, you're done. Wait. So, if you ever get on my Facebook, Daryl knew, and I had 38 pictures of him carrying him. He's not going to sue you, but he loved it. So I had a backpack, and I had him stuck in my backpack, and I walked all through Europe with Danny in the back.
And nobody took him?
Huh?
Nobody stole him?
At ski trip, some waitress took it, and I had to grab it back from her.
I got a lot of stories too. I'm not going to tell them all, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Everybody knew he always liked sunglasses.
Oh, yeah.
His saying was, how do you say that?
You're always cool.
Oh, you're always cool when the sun shines. Or you know you're cool when the sun shines. And that's what he always said. I said, Danny, it's dark out. But
I don't ever remember him saying that.
after you retired. But we love Danny. We
He'll be loving.
Well, yeah, man, needs some help.
Me and Harry's been doing it since 1966.
These guys, they went to Europe for 2 weeks vacation. And they had me come in to work, and I had worked 2.5, 3 years. And, like they killed me. And, made good money. Nothing like that. But, Danny was there every day. Normally we got 7 guys sitting there in the barber shop that are bums.
It's down to 3. It's down to 3 now. There's people. Who's next?
There's a 4 that died that I don't know about. Hand me that music Anyway, for Danny boy. We always worked by appointment, and we had to on camera. Somebody come in, they didn't have no place to sit. So we had 7 chairs in there for waiting on for customers. They was always filled up with the bums. And somebody walk in, just be standing there, waiting to get their hair cut. Finally, I'd say something. I said, "One of you bums stand up and give this lady a seat." She brought her little boy in, you know. So finally, one of them would get up. But that's the way they were. They just sit there and they just.
Danny always says, "Well, I was here first, this is my seat."
Yeah, because this is my seat, yeah. But, we had good times with Danny. We're hoping to see. Amen.
Amen.
Now, as they said, even though there were 7 or 8 of them hanging out up our bums, they loved each other beyond any shadow of a doubt. You wouldn't want to cross one of them, but I can guarantee, because you'd have the rest of them to deal with. Come on, somebody else get up here. Come on.
Well, I'm not very good at this, okay? My name's Diana, and I like to tease Danny anytime I was his last girlfriend. And my husband is John Redmond, and I met the boys through them. And the boys always went to breakfast together on Monday morning. And I said, "Why do you guys go down so early?" And I don't really have things funny to say, so I won't be as good as Todd and Daryl and all that. But, you know, these guys always met at 7 o'clock, and he said, "Well, Danny likes to go to bed at 8:30. And he's up at 3:30, 4:30 in the morning, and after he watched Dragnet on TV, and he had enough, you know, he'd say, "Hey, I'm going down Bob Evans when it opens at 7. So that's where they were, and they were like the 4 Musketeers, not the 3 Musketeers. But it would be Danny, Joe Ashley, and John Redmond, and then we had a friend named Jimmy Eldridge. So I was one of the boys, but I was one of the boys at dinner. Now, I don't do early. So anyway, I'd sometimes see him at the barber shop, and he loved to go with us to the Behringer Crawford, there's a Crawford Behringer Museum. Whichever, okay, but he loved to go to the Thursday night music with us. And we would go and enjoy that. And then Joe would maybe meet us up there a little later. John would be there with me, and then Jimmy. And then it was just Jimmy and Danny and myself, and Danny turned to me, and John, and Danny turned to me and he says, "Well, here comes Harambe out of the woods," and you'd see Joe come across the woods. Unfortunately, away from football, he has the bad knees. But you know, like Daryl said, we're gonna miss him. It just, you know, we ate once a week for dinner. We often went to Comparosa's. Thursday lunch was Greyhound, so you could have your pork chop, because those were left over from the night before. And I know about Nephews. I'd love to meet you today. I haven't met any of you, but I don't know if Danny had a password on his phone. I think he did.
Do you know what it is?
Well, I have some guesses, if you
Okay.
haven't been able to get
All
into
right,
it.
I'm down to 7 attempts. I
Oh,
got
okay.
7.
So I'll give you my ideas,
Okay.
because I'd sit there and kinda look, but,
We've been looking for you.
because there's a message from me on there for the Tuesday night, because I said, Danny, unfortunately, our first friend who died during the COVID time, they found him at home too, a lot like Danny, and so we always kind of checked on each other, but being men, they may talk, but they don't talk about anything important. Okay, well, where does he live? Well, in Latonia somewhere, you know, it's like, come on, guys, and, but Danny enjoyed coming over and sitting on our back deck, and, it was just, you know, he was somebody we usually saw once a week, and when he wasn't getting in touch, that's when all the calls started, and I think he called Daryl at the barber shop and told him, will y'all quit calling me? I just need to rest. I'm not, you know, feeling up to par, but, myself, I was an RN, and, I started calling the hospitals. That's just how I was, and, then they said nothing, then the next day, I said, you guys are gonna find out where he lives. And we knew maybe a nephew who was on the police department, and, in fact, we were with Danny that night that one of the policemen stopped him because he took an illegal left turn as we came out of the place after hearing some music for the night, but he just, you know, it was just, he was following somebody, and they didn't catch the first guy, but they caught the second guy, and when he stopped, the policeman stopped, and he goes, well, you're Uncle Danny, aren't you? So, yeah, so he knew who he was, and, it was just kind of funny. I mean, Danny, he and Joe could run for mayor. I mean, everybody knew him, every place we went, he knew the whole room. We never knew anybody, but it was 7 or 8 years I knew him. It was wonderful. So, I know these guys have got a lot more stories, and, I'll just tell you one more, the way come on, Bill. Come on. The way I met Danny, we went to a classic car show, and one of his friends had a Corvette that he put the wrong headlights in. Wait a minute, Billy, stay right here with me. And he put the wrong headlights in the car, and I told him, Danny, those aren't the right lights on that Corvette. So he had to go ask the guy who owned the Corvette, and he goes, darn it, you're right. So I was on his good list after that, because he knew I knew about Corvettes. So, anyway, well, it's lovely. It's always terrible meeting under these circumstances, but, he was a great person. Oh, come on, Danny would be telling me to shut up, I know. Billy, now you made it up here, you tell him.
All right. Anyhow, everyone would know. Oh, thank you. As you know, Danny was a phone genius, okay? I couldn't work a phone very well, I still can't. Anyhow, he would say, I said, Danny, can you fix this phone? I can't get, they gone you. People like you shouldn't even have a phone. And he would get so mad, and, it's not right that you even have a phone. You guys don't deserve it. Anyhow, and another thing, you never answer your phone, I'm not gonna call you again. And he was so crazy about me calling him, not answering my phone, but I never, just a bad habit, I had it off or something. But he always would get on me for not answering my phone, and he would just, everything we needed, he was the phone, he was right there. He helped everybody with the phone, he's a phone genius, and I wasn't. A lot of people down there aren't, so anyhow, that's just.
Tell him what you did, Billy. Tell him what you did at the end.
What I did,
Yeah, you ate his what?
please?
You ate his what?
Danny loved his Reese cups, everyone knows, baby. And he had one left in the jar he hid, and I
Hid him from Joe.
huh?
You hid him from Joe.
Anyhow, I ate his last Reese cup, and he wouldn't know because he passed on. And everybody's blaming me for eating his last Reese cup. Everybody knows how much he loved Reese cups. He would buy a bag or two every day. And he was kind of chintzy with them too. He wouldn't, he had to almost steal one to get one. Anyhow, that's.
Did he ever fold a towel?
Huh?
Did he ever fold a towel?
No, he used to before I came down. He used to fold towels. I worked at, no work.
He was an I've never seen him fold a
He was an
towel.
IT guy.
Yeah, IT guy, and I was just a, what, shop. I give him for a free haircut. Things are rough sometimes. Anyhow, thank you very much.
Yeah, get Bill.
Danny and I, been
Gotta talk
around a
loud,
long
Charlie.
time. He and I used to go to gun shows 25, 30 years ago, 2 or 3 times a month and buy guns. And Danny always bought good, high price stuff and stuck it away. I just bought average stuff that I'm gonna sell maybe 2 or 3 shows. So we were in Columbus and I bought a .45 automatic, wasn't a Colt, so it wasn't a premium. And we were in Lexington and about a month or so after that. And I got tired of carrying it around. And I said, Danny, I'm gonna give you a deal on this because I'm tired of carrying it around. He says, okay, what is it? And I says, I've been asking $400 for it, I'm gonna sell it to you for $3. And he blew up through the ceiling, he was real cantankerous anyway. And he said, you asshole, he says, I was with you when you bought it for $200. Another time, I called him and I said, there's a gun show in Lexington, and you wanna go? And he says, okay. He says, you sure there's a gun show? I says, the guy told me there was. So we get up in the morning, we go down and we eat at Cracker Barrel or something. And we went down there, and as soon as we pulled in front of Rupp Arena, I says, oh shit. He went through the ceiling because he saw the sign outside. It was next week.
Joe, get there, Joe. Come on, go, Joe.
Joe, we're not leaving till you get up here and tell us. In the last 2 years, I quit going to Christian Stephenson, going to Bob Evans. I don't care if my wife and I went there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock at night, or 8 o'clock at night. These two was there.
Yeah, he did that. I don't even know, I've known Danny, I guess, I don't know, 30, 35, 40 years. I met him through his friend, Pat Santos. We became friends, but Danny always was the one that, he always told everybody that I used to work out a lot when I was younger. And he said the first time he seen me was at a turkey shoot. And he said, Pat, who's this guy? He said, a macho me or whatever. So he went and got you get a shell and then you put it in, you shoot and come back. So of course he told everybody I had my shirt off, like that. So he said, you got that little man syndrome like us, Dad's Pat, he's got that little man syndrome, And I said, he got that little man syndrome. He said, yeah, kind of, but he always told everybody I was walking around with my shirt, but it's not true. Danny was tough to get along with now, I'm telling you. He had his moments, I told him, I told him one time he got on and said something, but I said, if you didn't have that bad arm, I said, I'd have beat you half to death. He used to get on my nerves now. But he was hard-headed, you couldn't tell him nothing. But he had a good heart, but I know he cared about all you guys, of course, you're all in the family, so he thought a lot of you all, so I can see that he got a good family, so. But a lot of times we just, when he only had nobody, and of course I've been married kids, I've been married, of course, he says I've been married too many times. But, you don't have to bring it up. But anyway, we, you know, you had to have somebody to eat with, and he called me all the time, so, and we'd eat at Bob Evans a lot, but Danny was in particular, he only ate certain things, so. And he ate about 3 different things, he'd eat a hamburger, maybe a chicken breast, and I always wanted to go somewhere different. I tried to eat healthy anyway, but yeah, he'll be missed. I didn't know he knew so many people. You know, of course, I saw him at a car club, and then he talked to everybody. But yeah, he had a good heart. But we were just a little different in a lot of ways, you know. But he got on me all the time about everything. But I'll miss him. But he was a good guy.
Thank you.
I didn't say anything funny.
Is there anyone else? Now, isn't this better than having a
Wait a
minister up here?
minute. His favorite nephew.
Okay.
Family, I guess. I'm Ben. I'm told I'm the favorite great nephew. Apparently, that's what my cousins here tell me. Uncle Danny was my godfather. He was a different kind of character, that's for sure. Told a lot of stories, a lot of stories. The only real memory I have when we were younger is when he was living at my grandma and grandpa's house. Him and great grandpa Charlie stayed upstairs. We would all come over to their house as young kids, and they'd say, "Hey, go upstairs, say hi to Uncle Danny and Grandpa Charlie." We'd go up the stairs to a cloud of smoke. Walk into the back bedroom, they'd have the Reds game playing on the radio, just sitting there, 2 grown men chiefing down cigarettes, having a good old time. Then as I got older, every Christmas, I was the godson. So he would get me a Skyline gift card, and I'd get him a gift card to Bob Evans, and that was our Christmas to each other. We didn't know he had so many friends at the barbershop. It's nice to meet a lot of you guys. Good to hear all the stories and everything, so appreciate everybody coming. Thanks.
Are you guys gonna sing a song?
You gotta get up too.
So, I'm the other godchild from Tennessee. And just so everybody knows, if my family would stand up and do a little circle so that we are the hillbillies from Tennessee, but we don't sing. But when Uncle Danny came down there and we had a celebration, he would sing. Only one chorus, and it was when he was usually drinking. But it was Roll On Big Mama. And so there's a picture over there when I was graduating from college, and he grabbed me around the neck and he would go, I'm not gonna do it, but I'll read you the words, but he would just go, you know, and it was Roll On Big Mama. And the words, and I brought my phone up here to share it with you because it meant a lot to me, and whenever it happened, whenever we were celebrating together, it was a memory that we carried from each of those celebrations. And so the chorus that he sang, sorry if I start to shake, Roll On Big Mama, and he would belt this at the top of his lungs so that the 50 or so people that were there would turn around and look. If you can't tell, I don't like attention. And that all of a sudden, good thing I had 2 beers in me as well, because it didn't matter at that point. But it was, Roll On Big Mama, I like the way you roll. Roll On Big Mama, you are my very soul. So the smoke that Ben talked about, I have to finish on a happy note. The smoke that Ben talked about, they would come down, Grandpa and Uncle Danny would come down, and they would bring me up to Aunt Eileen's house. I remember sitting in the back seat, and it was just, the air conditioner was on. I don't know how they saw the drive, but my eyes were, it's like right now, I was crying. How much further do we gotta go? The second thing, the memory that I have of Uncle Danny, I never noticed that his arms were different. Because at Aunt Eileen's house, he taught me how to play pool. They had a pool table in the basement. And he said, you just hold it, you know, it's right on my shoulder, and you hold it like this. I don't know but I was playing pool when I was in college and drinking at that point, and they're like, why are you playing left-handed? I'm like, I'm not, this is how I learned. And then I'm talking to people and I realized it's because Uncle Danny taught me how to play pool. But I just want, we did not know very many people that were Uncle Danny's friends here in this area. And that's why I wanted to just introduce everybody from Nashville, because all we saw were the pretty cars and how nice he dressed and his hats and he's like, Lisa, you gotta come up there and we gotta, what was some of the names of the stores that he even talked about? Go shopping with me, we gotta go to this, we gotta go to that and get new pair of shoes or whatever. But Mom, will you stand up? This is my mom, Jan Mark. So this was his sister-in-law. They kept in contact after my dad passed away 17 years ago. They would talk. And so when I found out, I almost got mad at my mom. I said, Mom, did you know? I know he would have told you. Keep a secret. Don't tell anybody. We don't want them to know that if he was sick, and didn't even tell her. So then I'm gonna ask my brother Mike to stand up. Mom, stay standing up, please, and just do a little twirl around. So this is my brother Mike. He's the oldest of 6. Uncle Danny and Grandpa came down for Mike's winging, and he graduated. He had all the accolades of everything. He was a graduate from Notre Dame. I don't know if anybody didn't know that he was not a fan. We always thought when he came down there that was the best team anywhere. But so Mike graduated from Notre Dame and did it through ROTC and became a pilot. So the winging and everything else was such a special time, and some of those moments made such memories. And I think he's saying, roll on Big Mama now.
It's been so long, but I recall being embarrassed by him.
And then we have Jeff. Jeff is the next. Jeff is our quiet, also, the whole family is quiet, so when you see us getting off, really? Our talker, Jamie, the youngest of all.
Thank you. I'm trying to say that too.
So Jeff as well graduated from Notre Dame, and so it became such a thing for us to share all these events with Uncle Danny. He was for the last 17 years, he's been our link to our father.
One quick Notre Dame story.
Yep.
So we have a nephew that just graduated a couple years ago from Notre Dame. And it was that trip that motivated him to start walking again, because we walked over campus and he couldn't keep up with Mom or any of the rest of us. So after that is when he started walking.
He told us how to walk. He used to walk a couple steps and sit down and stop and say. He was walking a lot the last 2 years.
He was a stroller.
Yeah.
So he would always wear a Notre Dame hat and stuff into the shop, and he would always say, I think I do look like Lou Holtz. That was his saying. I said, well, I got that little tiny head like him. High hat, yeah.
Danny told everybody he graduated from Dartmouth. We had a judge in there that said, Danny, if you graduate from Dartmouth, you hide it well.
So that's where the Notre Dame, yeah, I remember him talking about Notre Dame. So that's awesome.
So then we have Kim. Kim and Uncle Danny had kindred souls. Yes, you did. If you didn't know it, you did. And so when they got together, it was like the two conspirators, but it was like a best friend. When he came down, they had their time. It was neat to watch them because they shared so much. Next is my brother Kevin. Kevin is our silent partner of this whole thing. So he was the connection that was the doer. I mean, they all did, but when anything was needed, and Uncle Danny needed anything, or any of us in order to support, that's my brother Kevin. We're almost Irish twins, but we're not. The youngest is Amy, like I said.
She's dad.
Not me, Amy, I did not say that. I did not say that.
She is, she's part of the glue that holds us all together, because she's not ever met a stranger. And if any of you have met her, it's been wonderful to be able to walk up into a conversation, and Amy's already knows exactly what happened and where this person was from the barber shop, or this person used to buy guns with Uncle Danny, you know, so she knew, and that's what she's done her whole life, even though for the past long time now, but she doesn't live close to us, neither does Mike. The rest of us live close to each other. Mike lives in California, Amy's in Texas. But the sad thing is, these weddings and funerals, where I remember the roll-on Big Mama, where all of our cousins, and we have some of our other cousins here as well, it's where we build our relationship and where we share our story. I just want to thank everybody for coming, because it helped us see the friendships that Uncle Danny had built, because we were not a part of this. And it means so much to understand how close those relationships mattered to you. Thank you.
Would there be anyone else that would like to say anything? If not, Big John. Oh, okay, we got one more.
Last but not least.
Don't really have a lot of fond memories, not really one funny story. But my main thing is, we knew, those of us who lived up here, not maybe the out-of-town cousins, but we knew Uncle Dan's routine as far as Bob Evans or Frisch's, the barber shop, wherever he ate dinner, but we didn't know the faces. So it's been good to put faces with some of the story that he's been telling us over the years. But he only told you, he gave you a little bit. He never, just enough to kind of put your mind at ease, or just enough to say, okay, he's got this. We were on him for the last year and a half, not on him, but just kept asking him, you need to get a will, you need to get an estate. I'm working on that. I got a guy that's gonna handle that. He's busy doing this now, but we're gonna get together and do that. And then you'd see him 3 or 4 months later, well, he's about ready to start on that, you know, so he just kind of kept pushing things off. Unfortunately, some of that stuff never got done, but that doesn't change the stories that are here today. So it's been great seeing that. Just, me and my brother Mark had a different perspective. We got to grow up in a house that had my Uncle Dan and my grandfather. Now, we got to see a lot of nice cars over the years. Starting with a 56 or a 59 Olds. First brand new car was a 70 Plymouth Barracuda that he still knew the whereabouts as of 4 or 5 years ago who had that car. But it was the same thing right up from the day he started driving until he just passed away. He had a new car about every 3 to 4 years. And I lost track after a while, but one of those stories, I told this to the family last night, but his cars were nice, they kept getting nicer the longer he was there. But one day, my dad was still working at the time before he retired. His boss was coming to pick him up at the house. And at that time, I believe Uncle Dan was driving a Buick Riviera, which was a very nice car. And I think my dad was driving a Buick Regal, so a lesser vehicle. And I guess his boss must have knew what he was driving, because about 5 minutes before the guy came to pick him up, my dad had an epiphany and decided his car needed to go out in the driveway. Uncle Dan's needed to come in the garage, so the guy didn't know what kind of car. I think he was paying him too much money to afford a car like that. But there's so many other things as Lisa mentioned, I mean, he was there to celebrate all of our big events with us, whether it be ours, our kids. He was always there. Sometimes just a phone call, sometimes a letter, but he was always there when we wanted him and when we needed him.
We're gonna miss him.
Anybody else have
I
any?
gotta do it on the phone. I found out, does anybody, Mary is here, she's in this picture. Do you wanna come up and tell the story, or will we? You can't.
She showed me that picture and I thought, oh, crikey. Danny went on our honeymoon. My husband Pat and I, and we planned our vacation before we planned our wedding. So we always said that we took our oldest son. So after that, we were his mom and dad. But we had a great time, and we went to Paris Island. Everybody knows where Paris Island is. And we went to an aircraft carrier, and he was on the aircraft carrier, and he thought he was Tom Cruise / Top Gun, because he was doing the mannerisms to shoot the planes off the carrier. So I have pictures of that. But I was telling her, I said, you know, he always had a persona. He was either Tom Selleck with his ring. He had that one ring that he always wore that Tom Selleck wore, or he was Steve McQueen. You know, when he walked in the room in his outfit, you know, he was Steve McQueen. And then he was Tom Selleck and Top Gun for one day on our honeymoon. But great friend. I feel like I'm losing a brother. And he'll always be my Top Gun.
Okay, you have one.
Okay, anyone else?
You gotta tell a story.
Poor Danny, he'd order hamburgers and french fries. That's all he'd eat. But anyway, he did down at Bob Evans. Joe, I did see him order some other food at one time or other, but usually it was hamburger and french fries. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, anybody else got anything you want to say? Oh, I will tell you one. I belong to the Masonic stuff, and I helped start the car show for the Masonic Lodge. We've been doing them over in Campbell County, over there on 27 at Value City parking lot. And I conned him into bringing his Corvette. Tom Shaw, you in here? Tommy kept his Corvette going for him all the time. And he came to me, he wanted to know why he didn't win a trophy one day. I said, that piece of crap you're driving, you can't get trophies with a piece of crap. He got all bent out of shape. We had an extra trophy, and it's at that house somewhere, because I gave him a trophy. Just so he would feel like he did something, yeah. But he did have a pretty nice Corvette, there ain't no joke about it. All right, Big John, I have to call him Big John because I've known him for years. He's bigger than me. Get up here and let's do your thing. Now, when he's done singing, I'm gonna need 6 pallbearers to meet me at the end of that hallway, okay? And I'll need you here, and then I'm gonna need you at the cemetery. And when we get to the cemetery, I'll do, like I said, the 23rd Psalm of the Lord's Prayer, and John will have another song to sing at the cemetery. So, headlights and 4-way flashers.
And just be thankful, you pallbearers, that you're not carrying me out. Well, this is a special thing.
Here comes the guy.
I could rarely sing a song in the barber shop that Danny didn't pull out the computer, look up the words to the song, and correct me. And he did that on my old Kentucky home several times. And so I had June write up the real words to the song to give to him at the gravesite. But anyway, here today for Danny, what else could there be but old Danny boy? Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you, must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. It's I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. But when ye come and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead as dead I will maybe, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I shall hear, though soft you tread above me, and on my grave will warmer, sweeter be. Or you will bend and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to me. And I shall sleep in peace until you come to me. And Danny shall sleep until you come to thee. God bless you all. And God bless Danny. You know, I can't help but believe he was in heaven when our former president, was saved. And can't you just imagine Danny being a part of that Savior? I can, because that's the type of person he was. He helped everybody with love. God bless you, and thank you very much. Stay close, because people are not very kind. Go ahead, Chuck.
Quickly.
Hello.
Hats out there that if anybody wants to take any of those close to the
Saw Tony before. Did you? Yeah. Oh, we did too.
Oh, that's you, John.
That's me, isn't it?
That's you. That is you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See somebody already there. Oh, he's got one, yeah.
Nice to be here with you.
Thank you, and you too.
God bless you all. Thank you.
Take one day at a time like everybody else. Yeah, how's she doing?
I'm still talking.
In church occasionally.
Good seeing you, dude. Take care. Yep.
Beautiful. Nice to be here with y'all.
These are two. Yeah, he's got one, and then, yeah, this. These, whoever wants them. And if you need more, I can try to find more. I mean, there were so many at the house.
Yeah.
But some of them were in such bad shape, we couldn't keep them. They were pretty bad. But, yeah, but there's one there too.
Oh, that's okay, thank you.
That's a newer one.
That one was in the
You
trunk of
gonna
his
take all
car. That
three?
was his recent
I knew
one.
the barber shop.
Yeah, just take him to the barber shop as a
Oh,
memory.
okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to have?
And does anybody need any Ray-Bans?
Oh, yeah, Ray-Ban.
Take a Ray-Ban.
Take those right there.
Yeah, take them.
Sucker.
I'll take
and I
take
think
a
what
pair
we're
here,
gonna
Todd.
do is that we have a bunch more, and we'll get them cleaned up, and we'll bring them up to the shop. We have a bucket full of Ray-Bans. I mean, we have,
Would it be better in this one
what would be better?
than what you got in the house?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get the best
Thank
one.
you all.
I know you want the best one, so I'll
Thank
make
you.
sure.
Nice to be here.
I gotta, it'll be a couple weeks, I'm going out of town.
Thank you.
I just want to have.
Harry, love you.
Yeah, I love you too, Johnny. You done a good job, but you never did jump. Don't tell me you jumped. You jumped in your mind, but you never did jump.
I know.
The tortoiseshell one? Oh, here, I'm sorry, that's my hand. That one.
Yeah, you probably ruined it because he said you cleaned it.
Well,
It's turned it white.
those are the parcels. Those are like $670.
Good seeing you.
I need last name.
I got 20. The boys, yeah, he can't see out.
Some of them are prescription. Some of his.
Hi, ladies.
Tell me why.
Beautiful.
Nice.
You're doing a great job. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Nice to be here with you.
Yeah.
It was nice to know him.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Nice. Are you recording?
Yes. It'll all be on YouTube and Facebook under Travels with Dr. John Stephenson.
Is that what you have?
Yeah, Travels with Dr. John Stephenson. STEPHENSON.
Even though we don't remember meeting each other before, it's a parking lot at Crescent Hills. Yeah, it was, yeah, they were okay, yeah, and you were celebrating.
Billy, what are you doing, Danny?
Grandfather's birthdays that
They
day.
said I could have.
Hello.
Great job.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here with you.
Thank
Thank you.
You're supposed to bend that bill down a little, ain't you?
Yeah.
We're gonna put it this.
Okay, kids, are you going to the burial?
Oh, where
See
you.
Okay,
now.
Car started.
Huh?
We're gonna put that in the car. I guess we
Gotta go.
You're gonna be a part of the funeral procession, you can head like to
There's no, he's going in.
Hey, lights and flashes. You got the car?
Yeah. Oh, no, you go with Dale.
No.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you down there.
Thank you, I gotta get somebody back here.
I swear I didn't know you were the dog. I thought it was him.
Did I do okay?
You did fabulous.
Thank you very much.
Well, it got warmer than it was this morning.
Yeah.
Oh boy. You gotta watch that there. Thank you now. A society grows great when old men and women plant trees in whose shade they may never sit. Here at the garden, 7 Mile House Garden. Across from Forest Lawn Cemetery. Our old place is gone there, isn't it, Jim?
Colonial Cottage.
Yep, Colonial Cottage. Matt Grimes and all the other ladies there that were so nice and wonderful. Pat. All the visits there. The new Kroger store going in over here on the right. New Kroger store. Headed down to St. Mary's, next door to Highland Cemetery, where June and our bench is, and my brother Gerald's and Dorothy's. Back there at Forest Lawn was Mom and Dad and Barbara and Jay's grave sites. The Greyhound Grill there. And we're passing now Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church. Great schools and a great church service there. Wonderful people. Down here, the Fort Mitchell City Building. June and I lived here in Fort Mitchell many years. 213 Beechwood Road and 127 Seville Court. 2 homes we built together there for many years. And I did a little teaching here at Beechwood. Also, as my sister did also. Her first year of teaching was at Beechwood. Taught art. There's where we went to church for many years in Fort Mitchell Baptist Church, where they started the prayer breakfast. Fort Mitchell prayer breakfast, and now it's over at the Christian school or church on Buttermilk Pike. And they have it at 6:30, the men's prayer breakfast, every morning at 6:30 to 7:30. They fix a wonderful breakfast and a wonderful group of men there that have been meeting for, well, I started in 1974 with Gil Hammond, who was a deacon there at the Fort Mitchell Baptist Church. And June and I went there for a long time, and now we go out to Oak Ridge Baptist and with Randy Wallace and Gail. here's St. Mary's, and next door is Highland Cemetery. And Danny is going to put his last days here, resting spot in St. Mary's here.
Back up, take a left turn, we're going to take that little aisleway up, then we're going to square up to the lowering device, and we're on those left turns. Okay. Can't do that, everybody go over here. Square that door up there, make that left turn, follow easy right there. Take your time, watch the little holes in the ground.
You should be able to do that, Phil. That looks pretty dangerous.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And again, if you'd like to say the Lord's Prayer, please feel free to do so. Our Father, who art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Go ahead, John.
I don't need the words. If I need them, I'll jerk you around here again, hon. I'm thrilled to sing this for Danny, and I'm thrilled that when we sat together just a day or two before he went home to the Lord, that we got to tell each other we loved each other and we prayed for each other. I loved him, and you did too. He touched a lot of people's hearts. And today, the song that touched my heart, singing at the barber shop even with Danny correcting me. You know, you have people correct you in life. And Danny corrected me. And I sing this song for you that I've sang in every county, that was taught to me by Happy Chandler many years ago, 1968. He poked me on the chest and he said, "Son, I'll teach you how to sing it, but you got to sing it from your heart." Well, today I sing it from my heart. Oh, the sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the children at play. The corn top's ripe, and the meadows are in bloom, and the birds make music all the day. Weep no more, my ladies, oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home far away. Now, before we sing the last verse, I'd like to ask you just for a second to bow your heads and thank Jesus for what we have in America. Thank Jesus for what we have in America. He's an old history teacher. And the last verse goes like this. Oh, the children roll on the little cabin floor, all merry, all happy and bright. By and by hard times comes a knocking at the door, then my old Kentucky home says good night. Now join in with me. Weep no more, my ladies, oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home far away. God bless America, God bless Kentucky, and God bless the barbershop, Sparrow, Newton, and Newton. Howdy, boys, and good word to heaven for Danny. Praise the Lord.